all to do is get comfortable kind of leading and guiding and directing this. I think every week we'll start with issue pay numbers. A lot, right? No followers yet. All right, so is this in the SDP, by the way, as well? Serve the people? Sorry, it's a chat.
Not that I'm aware of, to be honest.
Okay. I think Marina should be in this meeting as well, Maria. You want to see if she's available? I mean, I kind of wanted her in here just because it says the person she's talking to.
What is that on? Is that on Serve the People? That's not on Serve the People.
It's not, it's on YouTube. I'm just wondering, did we market it on Serve the People? I don't see that. I don't see that we did, which is awkward. Tosh, let's market it on Serve the People. Let's market it on Serve the People. We get it up. Okay. Thanks.
Sorry.
So it's all good.
There you go.
So you want to come on in because we're going to go. I think this will help you as well. Because I mean, there's a lot of what the agents are doing. So, all right, cool. So welcome back to our FFL Tri-State Weekly Bullpen Session. We were doing these religiously for weeks and years, and we are back to a live setting. I'm excited. We're on a different platform, YouTube, so thank you for joining us. I feel like we got like 2 people on, so I'm excited. We didn't even promote this on certain people. So Toss is going to get a link out for that. And there's, I think the purpose we want to bring here is this, like, people are in the field every single week. They're experiencing different things in the field. They're seeing different things. They're, working with them differently. And we just want to get the information out to you so you can constantly troubleshoot through your week and how to grow and do the things you want to do when it comes to production. We'll talk about some hiring, and we'll talk about building a business, and we'll talk about, some of the questions that people have, So we'll take questions, we'll take them live, we'll take them from the audience. But I want to go through some numbers quickly. And we'll start this with issue paid numbers for the week. Top 20, Jesse Parley, 6,826. That's right. Oh, I see. It's going to be long. All right, so I'm just going to go month to date. Cool. I'm going to go month to date. So Jesse Parley, 12,774. Evgeny Glinsky, 12,787. Caleb Ambrose, 12,914. Issue paid through the first 2 weeks of September. Sam Mobley, 12,931. Corey Williams, 13,851. Millie P, 14,869. Jose G, 14,928. Remy A, 16,831. Jason Aguilar, 17,038. Issue paid through 2 weeks. Good job, Jason. John Mazzella was here with us today, 17,091. Mindy Tibbs was killing it 2 weeks in, 18,294. Jerry T, good work, Jerry, 18,000. 18,592 paid. Lendy G, 19,233. Wayne Carr, 19,634. Jeffrey B, who's brand new with us, 19,865, killing it. Nicholas Campbell, Mamba Mentality, 20,623. Keith McCrary, great work, 221,944 paid through 2 weeks. Matthew Borsch, another brand new person, 25,310 paid through 2 weeks. Number 2, Jonathan Porcina, 31,360 paid through 2 weeks. And number 1, Stephen Giordano, $44,199.48. As far as agencies go, I probably need to bring this up, their names, but. All right, so we'll start with close to sales manager. So anyone tracking sales manager? All right, Carlos Reynoso, 27,061 through 2 weeks. Danielle Byrne, FFL Legacy, 31,643. David Powell, FFL Great Lakes, 31,935 through 2 weeks. Kyrie Joyner, FFL, I want to say Humble Beginnings, 43,377. Jesse Parley, FFL Avenue, 64,547. Caleb Ambrose, which is FFL 320. Build and Protect, 91,000. This guy came out of nowhere. Just so like, people are like, well, you know, he hit VP in 90 days and it's a warm market machine. So they're hiring a ton of warm market around. And warm market generally will blow an agency up faster than anything you can think of. 91,000 through 2 weeks, looking for $200,000 a month. This number's going up every month. Wayne Carr, FFL, Hidden Gems, 95,853 through 2 weeks. Millie Porcina, FFL La Familia, 145,746. Rob Richmond, FFL Apex, 223,228. FFL Central, Brian Mendenhall, 311,174 through 2 weeks. And FL Universe, Ivan Vedra, 466,971 through 2 weeks. So you're starting to see like we have agencies, we have agents, we have top producers, we have agencies, and we want to continue to like highlight that. But also, we want other people to say, "Why not me?" You know. So you know, if it's possible to go senior sales manager, which is $100,000. So let's do this. So if it's possible to go senior sales manager, $100,000, which honestly is about 30,000 submit a week. That's you and 6 or 7 people. You can do that. You get a logo. You get an FFL brand name, like all the names I read. You would get a logo. You get an FFL brand name, and you basically have the ability to start growing. I mean, I think a senior sales manager, 100,000 is the beginning. Even though sales manager is 50,000. And then what you see here is vice president, 150,000. Senior vice president is 300,000. Executive vice president, $500,000. Board members, $1 million. We have people that are growing to EVP and board member faster than ever. Just because, Carlos, the system it's established. Nobody's guessing on how to do this anymore. It's like if you had to go to school, or you're in school, so you're taking classes, right? You're taking classes to get a degree in something, and that degree you want to pay for something. Okay, great. Well, if they're going to pay you, if they paid you to go to school, do you think it'd be more delightful?
Absolutely.
So where we work, we pay you to go to school. You get paid to go to school. I never got paid to go to school. I paid to go to school. I paid $100,000, 25 to 30 grand a year, 4 years, and that was when it was cheap. So let's be clear, it's like 400 grand now to go to school. But I mean, like, I paid. And I got a degree that I don't use anymore. Does this make sense? But it's okay. But in our university, in our world, in our stratosphere, in our collegiate life, we work and get paid. And see, the thing is, you're learning stuff the whole time, John. The whole time up, you're learning stuff. You're learning how to work with people. You're learning how to, build relationships. You're learning how to, there's so many times I put a foot in my mouth. Oh man, I wish I could have that back. It's gone. Bye. That's education. I'm getting educated. But it's paying me. No different on the sales side. You want to get yourself to 30,000, 40,000 as fast as possible. And this is old, by the way. We need a new one of these. But you want to get yourself to 40,000 is humanly possible. So I'm gonna take notes, because I'm not gonna try to be professional today. So today, we wanna add agency names to this sheet. We need a new promotional guideline. I'm learning. I'm educating myself right now. Like, in an ideal world, I want to launch this with this being up to date. So what? And I think that's the key. I think that's what people really need to understand. So what? Because guess what? We'll fix this. Does that make sense? Just like when the client hangs up on you, just like when you get no-showed, just like when you get no sales 4 appointments in a row. So what? It's going to happen. You're going to get better. You're going to grow. The next one's going to be $400 a month. It makes itself right. So what I'm going to do right now, John Small, why don't you come up? I want you to start going through some of these numbers. If someone that you highlight is here, bring them up to go over their numbers. And then, what's up, sir? Bring them up to go over their numbers. And then we'll kind of start doing that from here. Let's highlight some people and see what we can bring out of it. So thank you, John.
Thank you. How's everybody doing? John Small here.
Grab my phone.
First time doing this online. This is good. So, interesting thing about this board here is we like to just go over exactly what it entails before we just dive into it. So, name of the agent is over here. Obviously, you're looking at appointments in a week's time. At FFL, unlike a lot of other companies out there, our full-time schedule is somewhere between 25, 30 appointments a week. So I'm looking at this board already. We got most agents, including myself, guilty of running a little bit less than a full-time schedule. So appointments is how many people you booked on the phone from your leads and how many people set a time with you to talk. So that's appointments. Sits is actually how many people you sat down with, presented, and went over numbers with. Yet another thing that I do is sometimes I don't get through a whole appointment. If I find out someone's thinking, is this free? Is this? And I can't overcome that objection. I'm like, hey, my time's valuable. I got more people to see. So sits is how many people you sat down with and went over numbers with per week. Closed, how many people you wrote an app with? How many families? And families meaning, okay, I closed, say 11 families. Apps, you can actually have more apps than closed due to husband and wife, due to grandchildren riders, children riders, stuff like that. So that's apps. And premium, AP, annual premium, is the amount of money the client is going to be paying per month, times 12 months in the year. So that's pretty much the board, annuities, hires as well. So first one on the board is somebody that is here, my man John Mazzella. You want to come up, John? We'll go over that.
Big John.
How you doing?
I'm doing.
So you want to go over your own numbers here?
Yeah, one of the things that I've learned doing this business is that obviously the more appointments we make, the greater our chances are. One thing that I have to work on are these two numbers. A lot of people tell me all the time, you get 25, 30 appointments, but 16 sits. It's automatic that you're going to have X amount of people falling off the shelf just because. But I got to do a better job in tightening that up. Why are people not home when I show up on appointments? If you have Mary who just moved into a home and she needs cable, she's calling up a cable company requesting somebody to come over and fix her cable. And they're giving her a future date with a 3-hour window. So when that tech goes to Mary's house, Mary's home. She's not going anywhere because she wants cable. But it's the same thing for us and what we do. Why should we go out and see people and they're not home? I mean, they want the information just like they want their cable.
Absolutely.
So one of the things that I've been doing is I've been trying to get a little bit deeper into making the appointment. You know, hey, this is John, Senior Benefit Center. You requested information, your favorite color is this. Okay, great, I'll see you tomorrow. I don't do that anymore because chances are they are gonna forget you. So I've been going a little bit deeper on my phone script when I book the appointment. So they do remember me. So they do look forward to me coming out to the house. I mean, I'm not making love to them on the phone, but I'm getting a little deeper than I would. I've always had a good ratio because honestly, I think I just communicate with people really well. I go very slow. I dissect everything from top to bottom, from, hey, what'll happen, what's gonna happen when you're not here versus what do you want to happen when you're here. So I make it all about them and not so much about me. And yeah, I think ultimately it's how you make the presentation as, it's not what we say, it's how we say it. So yeah, I had a decent week last week. I have probably just about more this week so far. And I think one of the strengths also is, I know Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but the more business we do on Friday and Saturday, it's easier to roll on Tuesday and Wednesday. If you have 8, 10, 12,000 in the beginning of the week, your confidence level is that much greater at the end of the week. Where if you have, if you just decided to Netflix it or just, take advantage of restaurants opening up and just having a good old time, now you have to climb that mountain at Monday because you got $2,000 in the beginning of the week and it makes it harder.
Well, quick question for you, just for a lot of the new agents out there. How many leads and how long dialing does it take you to, set 16 on the calendar in a week's time?
Well, I'm sporadically calling from beginning to end of the day. If I know that I have a weekend and I have to get out there more to make up for the numbers that I didn't do in the beginning of the week, I'm pretty much dialing sporadically throughout the day. I'm not the guy that's going to book 10 appointments from 10 to 12 and then say, all right, I'm out. I'll go do things. Just Monday's my call day. I'm sporadically calling. I'm calling carriers. I'm, doing admin, doing this. So if I make 15 appointments, 20 appointments for the next 2 days, so be it. I'm not going to help everybody, but I'll lag that into Thursday and Friday.
All right. Well, how much dial time do you think throughout a dial session, like straight dialing, to set the amount of appointments you do?
I don't know. It's hard to say. If I call in an hour and I keep dialing, there's no question in my mind I can't get 10 appointments in an hour.
Okay, nice. Yeah, that's focus.
It all depends on, what your goal is. If I sat down and I have my leads and I said, all right, you know what, called Mutual, I called America, I did all my admin. Now it's time to dial and I got my leads and I got my stack and I'm dialing 10 in an hour. I don't know what my most in an hour is.
All right, solid.
I said,
Ask him, no.
I'm shy.
Ask him about, yeah, okay. Mr. DJ, ask him about what it was like when he first started. Did he always have the ability to book 10 in an hour?
Oh, so did you always have, well, yeah, so I guess you've gotten to this point where you are now. Like, have you always had the ability to, book one after the next? Were you always so confident on the phone, or did that build a little bit more?
No, I think that after a while of doing what we're doing and being around people on Mondays and Thursdays helps dramatically. I say this all the time for all you newer people out there. If you come in on Monday and you're a new agent and you're dialing and you got that timidness going, you're very timid, like, hey, Bill, this is John Mazzello. And I get that way too when I come in this office, believe it or not. And it's not because I'm truly a shy guy.
No.
But to answer your question, I'm in this business since 2011. I'm still learning.
Absolutely.
So I know by coming here every weekend I'm growing. I'm not guaranteeing you by you coming to the office, you're gonna get 30 appointments in a week, but I guarantee you that when you come back next week, you have that much more knowledge in you and that much more confidence. Because 90% of this business stinks. It's all mindset, and a lot of people don't have the mindset. The other 10% of this business outweighs that 90%. Same thing as a baseball player. The best baseball player in the world bats 300, but he makes out 70% of the time. So,
Yep.
same thing in this business. So, yeah, I mean, every day you just get more and more confident in the business.
All right, makes sense. Last question, I guess, would have been, do you have any appointments you didn't sell, anything that the new agents can learn from, appointments that you didn't sell from, or ones that you did that you had to overcome a lot of hurdles to get the sale?
I don't remember too much about last week, quite honestly.
Me neither, I had to write it down.
I really don't remember much. I have a terrible memory. I do know that a majority of the people that I sat with last week, everything went really smooth.
Yep.
Why is that, John? Why? Because your close ratios.
Absolutely. So why is it like that? Is it the way you set it up? You pretty much just go in there.
Again, I don't have any tricks up my sleeve. My ratio has always been high 80s. I guess doing it for so long, you get more knowledge. Know your products. Know what people are looking for. I always believe in listening to people. When I walk into a home, the first thing I do is I lay out my underwriting guidelines books. I lay out my license, my driver's license, and then their lead.
Yep.
That's what I do. And then I'll sit down and I'll be like, how can I help you? What's up? What are we doing here? And then they just roll and they say, well, in the event that I pass away, I want Mary to be taken care of, and just let them talk.
Yep.
And then slowly but surely get into it. Just make them feel comfortable. Because there's a lot of salespeople who are exactly that. They're salespeople, and they just like to talk and talk and talk and talk and just keep going. And, people do tend to get bored, but the more they talk about themselves and what they want to accomplish, it's easier on you because they're laying it out. So
you find that, you're letting the clients talk way more throughout a presentation than you are.
Yes and no. I mean, I don't let them get diarrhea of the mouth, but just, why am I here? What can I do for you? Tell me how I can help you. And I'll lay it out on the table. You let me know where you want to be financially. If one of the first questions is, I also think that the questions we ask, like one of the first questions I ask is, hey, Carlos, when you pass away, who are we writing the check out to? As opposed to who's your beneficiary. So I just think little things like that also help. And like I said, I don't go into an appointment with the same thing. We're chameleons. Everybody's different. I don't know what house I'm walking into. But I do allow everybody to explain themselves and tell me why I'm there. How can I help you?
So you said, you've been doing this since 2011, you said, right? Still get a little butterflies in the stomach? Still do before everything?
Going in houses, no. Sitting up here, talking to you and being live and not being able to freely speak. Yeah, I'm a little
It's nice to be live.
Amen. So anything else you want to go over about your week?
No,
I thought a lot of stuff there was pretty powerful.
Yeah.
For the new agents, John, how do you control diarrhea of the mouth with the client?
Well, I just think it's the questions that you ask. I think one of the biggest powerful questions, how can I help you? Why am I here? When you walk into a house, it's like, sometimes you walk into a house, you sit down, all right, how much is this gonna cost me? I mean, easy guy, take a step back. let me start from the beginning. But, as far as diarrhea of the mouth, when I say that, I just let them explain, why am I here? What could I do for you? And usually they're gonna say, I'm looking to protect my family in the event that I pass away and I need insurance. And that's the answer what we're looking for.
Beautiful.
Great.
All right. Next one up is also here as well. So Carlos, I'll let you go over your own numbers. Come on up, give them a round. Thanks, sir. Great. You want to go over your numbers for these nice folks and then tell us about your week?
Yes, my numbers are low. I was had a pregnant wife at home, so I didn't want to go to him and then expect a call when I was with a client.
Did you have the baby?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
What's the baby's name, boy, girl? What you got?
I have a boy,
Huh?
and his name is Asher.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. So I run. This is only for a day and a half, so this is not like a whole thing,
Makes sense. Your appointment.
So to get the count that I want, I go more in depth now with the client. I ask them more questions when I'm on the phone. I tell them the meeting time many times. I repeat it, like, okay, I'm gonna see you Saturday at 10 a.m. I say that, and then if we talk a little bit more about something else, then I say it again. Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Please make sure that you write it on a calendar so you won't forget.
Yeah.
And they'll, I noticed that by doing that, I have more shows than no shows. Because at the beginning was
I
horrible.
remember you talking to them more.
Okay.
So you can use that.
Got you.
So how long have you been doing that? And you've been seeing results with it pretty quickly? Seeing more people and stuff right off the
Yes,
bat?
well, this for I want to say 5 months I've been doing it, and the results been dramatic. I've gotten more shows. I've gotten more comfortable on the phones. Something I learned is that when you're at home, or at least me, and this is going to sound like a little cliche, but when I'm home with a client, I'm not alone. I have like a team with me. Like I have John sitting with me. I have you sitting with me. I have Tiffany sitting with me. And I say that because I got a little bit from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I mean? So when I'm talking, it's everybody talking.
And I mean, everybody's just a call away, just like that agent hotline, which
Correct.
I'm sure
Correct.
most of it going on. Anybody needs underwriting, just call them. Someone always answers, and helping families. So,
I think we killed the agent hotline, to be honest. We might need to revitalize it, but I think we killed it for a little bit.
I
We're very active with that.
Huh?
I've been active with that.
Oh yeah? You still receive? Oh, my God, yeah. Because that was taking a lot of some my fire, but we got rid of that agent hotline. We might get it back.
Okay.
Yeah, all good.
Well, all the agents, like I have a lot of agents that call me for when I'm on the field and they want some help with something or a product or something, I help them out.
amen to that. All right. So, how any good things you want to report from the week? Kind of get everybody a little bit of training on how your week went, the ups and downs, more so maybe the downs, because that's what we're going to learn from.
Just that when you put a client, take charge, be confident. Those butterflies that you talk about, try not to have them, when you with a client. Get rid of them, by listening to more podcasts, watching YouTube videos, calling somebody, talking to somebody that knows about the business. Just get comfortable. Clients are like, they like dogs. They're gonna smell the fear. If you're fearful, they're gonna smell it. So, when I'm at the house, something that I got from John is, I go there, sit down, and be like, okay, why am I here? Who are we protecting? I got that from you. Brittany Smart, I got it that when they want to think about it, I say nope. It's got to be an answer today, and I'm bold like that, and I tell them, and I've gotten great results.
That's great.
It's great.
Okay. And you weren't as bold in the beginning. You were a
No.
little more
At the
trying to
beginning,
soften everything a little
no.
bit.
At the beginning, I was at when I used to dial. I don't know if Mark remember, but I used to kind of, on the cubicles, I used to kind of hide and be like, hey, how you doing? You know? So, because I know the rewards of the business, I'm bulk now. I don't have that fear of, I told you no. I'm like, okay, whatever, next, on to the next one. So I called and make my speech and, got great results.
Man, all right. Anything else?
Just remember that there is a set a set mechanism. You're not alone. You have your upline. You have your friends that you can call. So you're not alone. Just know that you got people that you can always count on. That's it.
All right, man. Good work.
Good deal.
All right. Next on the board is me, but real quick, I'll go over the numbers since these guys said all this other powerful stuff and didn't go over the numbers yet, so I'll do that for you all, for all you new agents. So Zella, 16 appointments, 13 sits. That's what we were saying before. Very high sit ratio, and that goes from what he was saying. Building a little bit of that trust over the phone, making people remember you, and they're going to show up for the appointments. So 13 sits, 11 closed. Obviously, very high ratio there as well. Build a lot of value. 11 apps, 16, 485 for the week.
Nice.
Carlos, like we said, yeah, that's what we all kind of low numbers here, but that was 1.5 days for him. 8 appointments, 6 sits, so high sit ratio there. 4 close, good close ratio there as well. 4 apps, 5,001, 3192. Next on the board is me. So yet again, like I said in the beginning, part-time agents looking for maybe 15 appointments or so. So that's where I landed this week, unfortunately. Like to have somewhere between 25 to 30. Why is that? Well, you got a lot of people that you got on your calendar. It's a lot of chances to sit down with people. It's a lot of chances to help a lot of people. This business is totally a numbers game. I've been learning that pretty quickly. So 15 appointments, 9 sits. I had 6 close. I had 6 apps, 4308. So a little lower premium. Ratios are kind of decent. It's just if I double that up, you're looking at 30 appointments, and you're looking maybe more so around 12 apps. And for the most part, this is a lower premium I had for the week. That usually it starts working itself out. Average premium being about $1,000 a month, $1,000 AP. Sorry, that could have been easily closer to $10,000 on a good week. A couple things I wanted to go over for you guys with my appointments, because I was saying before, you guys, the new agents out there, there's a lot of people coming on. We're going to learn more from our, defeats than our victories. So, but unfortunately, I did have a pretty easy week. That most of these were lay down sales, but I'll go over certain things and kind of what I was going over with Mr. Mazzello over there is sometimes the way we approach it and setting the expectations is going to make for a smoother appointment, in that we created a lay down sale when we're showing the numbers that somebody might have been on the fence in the beginning, but the way we went about it kind of did that. So I had a couple appointments here I wanted to go over. First guy was Kevin. This was kind of an error on my part, I guess. I mean, calling Kevin, booking the appointment, this and that, saying, hey, is this information for you? Or do you have a spouse? And he said just himself. And I kind of said, okay, no spouse. And he still didn't answer me. He's like, no, just me. Showed up there and found out he had a wife. So I'm like, okay, I was trying to solidify, do you have a wife or is it just you? So I'm sitting there in my mind. You guys all know what that is. What is that called? One-legger. Thanks for the feedback. I was looking at all of you. One-legged appointment. So when it came down to it, I was like, hey, man, listen, I want to go over this with you. I really want to help you. I'm sure you make decisions with your wife. And he actually said, no, I can make decisions on my own. So I'm like, all right. Long story short, I did get the close, but that is something that a lot of new agents would probably struggle with, and I did in the past. Do you guys agree?
Yes.
You've had one-leggers, we all have?
Yes.
Okay. So when it comes down to it, that was kind of on my end, maybe not really stressing, do you have a wife, this and that? But I overcame it, and how I set it up in the beginning was, hey man, like I want to help you, but I'm not even going to show you anything. We're going to reschedule this unless you really just make decisions on your own. So I got lucky on that one. I don't advise it to a lot of you newer agents. I would just reschedule it. You paid for the lead.
Yeah.
You want to resolve it the best way you possibly can. So I had that appointment. Second appointment is another interesting one that it was a lay down for me at the end, and her name was Deborah. It was a lay down for me at the end because she had 2 different insurance policies from 2 different companies. One happened to be a 2-year wait that instead of just saying, okay, I'm going to help you add one, you can keep your other 2, I basically went out of my way to say, no, we're going to get you 1 insurance policy. You get 1 policy delivered to your house. Your daughter has to call 1 insurance company, well, me or 1 insurance company, and I kind of rolled it into that way. When I was newer, maybe I would have been like, okay, so you're looking to add, right? Which would have not made any sense. I got her Americo Eagle, day 1 coverage, proved in home, and she had another policy that would have had a 2-year wait. It just made no sense. And the rates for Americo, even a couple years later, were better than the other policy that was same-day coverage, right? We work with some of the best in the business.
So let me just ask you a question. So, so obviously, for me, that's a final expense lead.
Yep.
All right, so in the final expense market, there's a lot of that, right? Where 2 years later, you can get them cheaper coverage than what they got 2 years ago, which is that should be outlawed. Because if you're 67 and 2 years ago you were 65, the rate's gone up. The problem is that the product that they got was so high, so high that you were still able to come in and get a day 1 coverage 2 years later.
Yep.
How much of that do you see out there?
Final expense, like you said, a lot. And I see that considering I feel like final expense people are always shopping around, can you say that in a negative way? Like, oh man, I write this policy and it might not always stick and always be there. Yeah, but you can also say, hey, if I do deliver value and with the companies we work with, if we're beating rates from 4 years ago, that must be saying something. That's one of my biggest ever. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting there like, you were 4 years younger, this and that, America, beat it.
Yeah.
So it's that much more comforting that we represent those companies. But also, you're going to find that more and more and more. So as long as you provide them a good company, provide them value, and call your clients, follow up, and stuff like that as well.
Why don't you keep rolling? I just wanted to highlight that point.
Oh, thank you.
You got it.
I have one other appointment I wanted to go over, and then I'll just go over one other quick thing. But one other appointment, his name is John, just like me, spelled the same, because I don't trust any Johns without the H, right? I'm just kidding. So when it comes down to it, this guy John has definitely been burned before. I feel like every single thing that he was saying was just, a guy down on his luck. He's like, I don't want, and I always set it up in the beginning like, hey, if this makes sense to you, we submit an application, we'll need ID and banking information from you. I say that in the first 5 minutes, and that's how I know if people are serious. So he's like, I had identity theft happen recently. I had insurance I wanted to get a couple years ago. The insurance company never got back to me. They ended up taking the premium out anyway. And I called and I was declined. I mean, he just went over all this stuff. So there was no trust there with what he's been through. So yet again, a lot of things you guys have dealt with as well, I'm sure. There's probably the adversity we have to face of whatever happened before us, the wreckage that someone was dealing with, that we have to overcome that. So pretty much just talking to him about, hey man, this is how this is gonna work. And I usually don't do this, but Americo Eagle, if I'm getting that instant approval in the home, I told him right then and there, I'm like, hey man, listen, you've been approved for this. Kind of just created the whole sense of, I'm not going to go run off and, whatever with your banking information. You've been approved for this, 2 days or so, you're going to see your first payment out. So really it was just overcoming a lot in the beginning. And yet again, it's just all about building that trust, right? You guys would agree that's a big thing about this. So wanted to go over that. And one other quick thing, yet again, just talking about adversity. I literally right before the bullpen had somebody call 10 minutes before, hey John, I want to cancel my policy. I'm like, Eva, why? You're a living, breathing person. Why? Why would you cancel your life insurance, Eva? So she's like, I'm moving and I'm gonna need that $70 for moving expenses. I'm sitting there like, Eva, what is that really? Like, what is $70 when, yeah, you're gonna have thousands of dollars you gotta pay to move, we all would. But what's $70 and is it important for you to lose, your insurance and something happens to you now, your daughter has nothing. So she backed out of that again too. But it was because I was bold. I was like, Eva, it's $70. Are you kidding me? So I just wanted to go over that as well. It's probably the same way Mark would say it. He's like, you out of your mind? But we say that because, sometimes people are thinking like, I need every dollar I can, where that's not what's important. What's important is you asked me to help you with, helping your family. And I'm going to do that even now if I'm not right next to you. I'm going to keep doing that and continue doing that. So she's going to keep her promise. So Lindy G, who was here before, 8 appointments, 8 sits, 8 close, 8 apps. Man's a machine this week. Across the board, 12,045 for Len. Pito, is that Ocrasa? Mm-hmm. All right, Pito Ocrasa, 16 appointments, 10 sits, 8 close. Obviously good ratios there as well. 8 apps, 15,660. A lot of these guys high premiums. I feel a little out of place on this board here. Pito Ocrasa. And then Stephen P, 21, 12. That's pretty much one of the closer ones we've seen to a 50% sit ratio. A lot of times with my final expense, that's where I sit. So I can relate to Steven. He got a little beat up there. Could be wasn't setting solid appointments, wasn't doing what you do, Carlos. Hey, grab a pen and paper. I'm coming between this time. You're definitely going to be there. There's no reason you wouldn't be. Okay, great. So a little lower ratios there, but he made up for it with a high close rate. 8 apps. 8 close, 8 apps, 11, 5, 2, 2, 16 for Steven. So a good board of numbers there.
Okay.
So that is the board. Bring Mark back up here.
So thank you, John. I appreciate that again. Why do we like to do this? Because it's the real life snapshot of actually what a week looked like. Good, bad, or indifferent. Sometimes you get gouged from appointments to sits. You make up for it in close and you make up for it in premium. Sometimes it's just a precipitous drop, But I can coach anyone from here because I'll know how many appointments. So we know that this is a low activity week for everyone that presented because there's only one guy over 20. So if anyone in here was complaining about their numbers or why they weren't getting deposited what they wanted, it's easy to go, all right, well, you're not working. Right? Now some of these guys are senior, these are a lot of senior people. They've been doing this a while, a couple years. So the ratios are not the exact same as someone who's new. And for me, like Steve Giordano's considered a senior person. He runs 30 appointments a week. So I'm running 30. The lowest appointment count I ever ran, I think, at Family First Life was 22, ever. So I was very allergic to less than 27, 28, which, again, if you take John Mazzella and you add 12 more appointments, he's a $30,000 guy this week. That doesn't suck in the bank account. Just so if anyone's confused, 30 grand in a week doesn't suck, okay? But he's developed a skill set, and it's great. I'm all about it. So I just wanted to highlight why we do this. We'll do this every single week. We'll go through numbers because I think it's important. And then you'll start to hear stuff that'll make you a better agent. So we've got the 9:30 Monday, 10K Club a week call. We want to continue to bring guests on there. We got the Monday Bullpen Sessions. And then we want to continue to try to provide value to you guys who are streaming. And look, I don't care what group you're in, we're going to post this in the Serve the People chat. We're going to post this in our email blast. If you receive it, you want to click on the link, jump on, great. Our job to provide value from the sales perspective and building perspective. So from a building perspective, the thing you got to ask yourself on a regular basis. Let's take John Small, okay? So John Small, let's just say John made $4,300 last week. Is that more than what typical people make? Yes or no?
Yep.
It is.
Yes, it is.
Okay. He is the first one to admit he didn't put in a full week. That's fine. Is it smart for John to promote this to his friends, family, colleagues, former associates?
Absolutely.
Does that make sense? Meaning like, we go, well, it's not John Mazzella's numbers. Yeah, and it's also not most people in America's numbers. So we have to stop thinking like, well, because I'm not John Mazzella this week, I don't need to promote. Well, no, but you're marketing to people that are, a lot of people are looking for change. A lot of people are out of work, like legit out of work or being phased out. Like we just brought on some new people in our office, and a lot of people that I interviewed, Maria, were laid off due to COVID or in a position they hated due to COVID. Like, does that make sense? Like, but honestly, and then there's people out there just looking for change. People want to feel alive. So we recommend people start part-time, go full-time, but if I'm a walking, living billboard of what I do, then I'm going to start attracting people that are interested in making a couple sales a week in addition to what they're doing, and start to get to confidently grow into this full-time. So I think that we can't overstate or understate that ever. And we need to continue to look at that as like, that's our number one farm source. And it's free. You promoting on your social media platform, on this device, there's a very powerful device. I don't even know how many contacts. I wish this thing would tell you. But probably over 3,000 contacts. Okay? Then I've got Facebook that's on here. On Facebook, I have over 4,000 friends. Then I have Instagram. I have over 1,000 followers. Then it goes on, and LinkedIn. And from this device, I can literally recruit. I can literally be a promotion walking billboard that will allow me to literally grow a business from scratch. Because as long as I'm humble about what I'm saying and I'm not braggadocious, because by the way, braggadocious and what's the word I'm looking for? Condescending on social media doesn't work. They don't know you, dog. Like, it'd be different if they knew you. You know what I'm saying? You're like, well, they know me. No, they don't know you. Like, I got people on here I've known for 25 years that don't know me. Because I haven't seen them in 25 years. Does that make sense? So we know of each other. They just don't know me. So I want to be very life-giving, very anybody can do this. We have opportunities all over the country. Would love to help. You may be downsized. You may be looking for something different. They paid me $4,000 this week. I know it's crazy, but it's just, I think that anybody can do that. I think that, if anybody was interested in a part-time, and what's wrong with that? Would anyone in here be reluctant to doing that? No. You know what I'm saying? It's what we do. It's what we do. It's our business. So we promote every minute of every single day on social media. We're all over social media. All over. And for the purposes of bringing in people that don't know who we are. A lot of people would be willing to do this if they knew who we were. And a lot of people don't know who we are. So as they start to get to know us, Family First Life, they get to know you. What do you do? What do you do now? I used to do a lot on Facebook. Then I started moving into Instagram. I had a whole fleet of people on Instagram that hate Facebook, which is just like the weirdest thing in the world. You start growing out of these social media platforms. They hate Facebook, quote unquote. And they're on Instagram. They're not on Facebook. And all of a sudden, I get a whole new audience. There's some people that don't go on Instagram and just do Twitter. I'm like, dude, fine. But whatever works, right? So then if I start going on Twitter, every platform will have a different audience. And the way they want to receive information on that platform is different. Like if I'm on Twitter, it's more of a news filter. If I'm on Instagram, it's more of a highlight reel. But it doesn't always have to be like flashy lights. It's just what a lot of Instagram is. But you can certainly take your approach and give out information that's contextual to that platform, and then start growing a business. People are gonna instant message you. They're gonna DM you. They're gonna ask you, dude, really? I didn't know you did that. Some people will be passive aggressive and go, great job. They want to join you. They just go, great job, man. And you just you DM them. Hey man, cool man. Thanks for showing love. What's up with you, man? How's life? It's going to go somewhere, I promise. It may not lead to them getting a license, but we're gonna find out a lot about what's going on. You know? It's happened. I've had many people that want to join me that were, from high school, college, whatever, that didn't join. I have many that have. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and they said they wanted to join me, but they just didn't commit, right? So it's okay. But if the longer you're doing, I got people that call all the time. They're like, "You still doing that, man?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm still doing that, man." So, and they're like, "Dude, matter of fact, reminds me, I gotta hit this dude Dave up. Let me see. Let me make sure I do that." My buddy Dave. Let me just text him back. What's up, big dog?
Now we need an Instagram.
When you get started. So this is a guy who one of my good buddies, his cousin is thinking about getting into insurance. He said he's looking in the family first life's name's out there. He was like, but I don't want him to get started if he's not getting started with you. So let me connect y'all. I've been doing this. They know I'm doing this. They hear family first life, they think of me in that circumference. So here's a guy who we'll hire, you know what I'm saying, I've known Dave since I was little, but I didn't know Dave was looking at Family First Life. Does that make sense? And because there's webs out there, it starts to come back to you. You know what I'm saying? The reason why Mazzelle is here is because we just kept doing this. The reason why Carlos is here is because we just kept doing this. Like, they're two good stories, and we can go over those one day, they're here because we just kept doing this. We just kept marketing, and they just kept seeing it, and they just kept wondering, and they just kept hoping it could work for them. Years. Does that make sense? Carl's going to hit senior sales manager this month. John issues $40,000 a month. Makes sense. They're happier. We just working. We're mining the land. So anybody can do that. So appreciate you guys coming on us live today. We're gonna get better at this. We're gonna bring more value, but we wanted to get this out. We appreciate you. See you next Monday, 1:00 Eastern. God bless. Thanks, guys. That was great.